Do you have any nicknames? What are they that the lads call you?
No, I don't have many nicknames, to be fair. Usually Cleve, yeah, that's it, Cleve, Tails, that's it, I don't have many nicknames. Or you, that's what I usually get, but no, I've not got many nicknames. So.
Okay. Leaving last season, why did you come back when you knew the state of play at the end of last season wasn't so great for the club? What made you want to come back?
Various reasons, different factors as well. One of the biggest ones being the manager, Gaffer Tommy. Numerous conversations with him over the summer about the way the club was going, in which direction he wanted the club to go, and how far he thought the club could go. I was also at a point in my career where I just wanted to enjoy it again. I wanted to enjoy football. It wasn't necessarily about money. I've got other things going on in my life, and I just really wanted to go somewhere where I thought I had a good little setup and I could just concentrate on my football.
And you feel that you've got that at Corby Town, obviously?
So far, it's not proved me wrong, so far, so good.
Okay. Away from football, what kind of guy are you? I know you come across as bubbly and...
Yeah, obviously I'm a lot older. When I was younger I was probably a lot more bubbly, a lot more at the time when I was always getting told off. But I'm older now. I found the balance between knowing when to be serious. As you probably see me when I'm out on the pitch and leading the lads. It's time to work, and obviously I have to lead by example, being one of the older members in the team now. So I try to lead by example, and when we're training and when we're playing we take it serious. But also I like to obviously keep everyone upbeat and keep the mood within the camp nice, and just be a nice person to be around, and just make a nice atmosphere for everyone who works around the club.
Excellent, good stuff. Becoming captain as you are at the moment, you know, how has that changed your approach on the pitch?
It doesn't change it as much, because I believe that we're all leaders out there, but it does give me a sense of it helps me lift my game. Obviously I played at a high level, so the pressure is on me, but also I try to take the pressure off the lads. Some of them are a lot younger. We go into big games, try to take that pressure off them, because I feel that some of the lads will look to me to see if I feel the pressure, and if I can show that I'm not feeling the pressure, hopefully it rubs off on a lot of the other lads and some of the younger lads as well.
Yeah.
And it's definitely good to lead by example, and whenever I can, I'll always try and lead by example.
Good stuff. With so many young lads in and around the club, how can you help them, or how do you help them?
It's important. You get to know all the names. I know all the names. I talk to them. I treat them just as I treat the 11 that start. I treat everyone the same. But if anything, I involve them more. So I let them know me, get them to know me, and just being a real good example of what they can be and what they can achieve, and how they should conduct themselves on and off the pitch.
Do you feel having some of the young ones, even though they're not playing in and around the first team, like when we've travelled to some games they came, do you feel that helps them?
It's massive. I think Tuesday night shows that. A lot of the first teamers weren't here, and you could call it a youth team or a reserve team, you call it what you want, but Tommy fielded a team that he felt would go and win the game with a lot of young lads, and they went and won the game. And all the reports that came back with it, that they were fantastic. So it shows that in some instance, what we're doing on a Saturday or what we're doing in training, they're starting to buy into that.
Yeah, we believe that it was the youngest team ever to represent Corby at first team level.
But that just shows, like I said, my decision in the summer was right. It's going somewhere. Corby are going somewhere. They've had a few tough years, I'd say, both on and off the pitch. But I think with you got that much quality behind the first team, with the first team doing well, the future's bright. It can only be bright, do you know what I mean? Because they're just going to keep pushing us, and we're going to keep pulling them along.
Beyond the end of your football career, could you see yourself being involved, like as a coach or a manager? Is that something that you would look to develop? Or?
Yes, definitely something that me and Tommy talk about quite a lot. I'd love to be a fitness coach. Obviously I'm a personal trainer at the moment,
yeah.
So fitness coaching is something that I'd love to do, and the chats are ongoing about what I can do to further myself to be a better coach for when that time does come. So there's times when sometimes I can't make training, either I'm studying or I'm personal training, but that's all gonna hopefully build towards the bigger picture, and hopefully if the gaffer's here and if needed, it'll be to help the boys and make them get fitter and stronger and give them the best advice that I can.
That's fantastic. From the transition to part-time football, because you were playing full-time football, not last season, the season before.
Yeah, so this is my second season out of full-time football. It's difficult. I'm a lot more, last year was a shock to the system, and at times I do find it difficult, and to be fair, I admire a lot of the boys that have done it for a while, in the sense that you've been at work all day, you come training at 7 o'clock, it's cold, it's windy, the last thing you want to do is train. The last thing you want to do, you've had a long day, some have been up 5, 6 in the morning, been working, 7 o'clock comes and you think, oh no, I've got to train. And you've got to get that enthusiasm, you've got to get that energy and the quality to go out there and train as hard as you can and prepare for Saturday. And the toughest thing at the minute is that we're in the league. You can see we're well and truly in the league. We're competing very well. We're at the right end of the table. So as weeks go on, the pressure mounts, the standards rise, the level of expectancy is going to grow and grow and grow. So you can't really leave any stone unturned.
Yeah, fair enough. What is your biggest achievement in football, and how did it make you feel?
I don't know. I look back on my career. It's still going, and it's bad of me at the times. I say, "Oh, I look back on my career as if it's finished," and then I go, "Hang on a minute, we're second."
Yeah.
You know, so there's still stuff left for me to achieve. But there's loads of things. I'd say winning the championship with Scunthorpe United. I think that was one of my biggest achievements. As champions, something nobody will ever take away from you. Even to this day, you hear people say, yeah, blah, blah, blah. We went on, we did this, but was you champions? And they say, no, there you go. So it's something that I've done, and it was something that installed a winning mentality in me, and probably affected my career later on. Because you do so well, you win the league, you're used to winning, you think every year is going to be like that. And it's not. And one of the biggest things, I think we watched it on the bus about Alex Ferguson or the kids he brought through. Once they won the league, he says, are you ready to go again? And I think that's where some players find it difficult. Do you pick it up? Can you pick it up? What happens when things don't go well? And so on. So yeah, that would be my biggest achievement.
That's great. Does it make you feel when you put on a steel shirt, you wear those black and white colours?
I feel proud, because in an instance we're underdogs. I'd say there's probably teams in the league that everyone said, yeah, they'll be up there, Corby. So it makes me feel proud to be the underdogs, but we've got something good here, and hopefully we can keep going in the way we're going. And I think we've got a lot of business that we need to deal with, and I think that we're going in the right direction.
Did you find it leaving last year? I know you were on loan, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
How difficult did you find, when you had to leave, knowing what was going on at the club?
It was very tough. I had good friends here, one being the gaffer, and you always like to help good friends out, and that's the way it is in anything, do you know what I mean? And I wanted to help him out. I wanted to do well for him. I wanted to do well for the club. And it was difficult, and it was a difficult situation for the club. The best phone call I got was when I spoke to the gaffer, and he said things have been sorted out. And I said, are you sure? And he goes, I'm certain. And that's all I needed to know. But it was difficult, but I enjoyed it here. Nevertheless, I enjoyed it here to play football, and the standard of football was still good. So even though things were going off and it was difficult to leave, I was disappointed because I knew I was going to go back to somewhere where I weren't happy, and I probably wasn't going to play as much as I wanted to.
Yeah. Once you knew that things were sorted here, did you know at that point that you were going to come back?
Yeah. I knew. It wasn't nothing to do with finance. It was just if things were sorted and it was steady and the club was stable and we wouldn't lose our best players, then I was here.
It's a good setup here, isn't it?
It's a sleeping giant. The setup is, I'd say, 2 or 3 levels below what it should be, really. I should say we should be tinkering with conference north-south, tinkering with conference. I'd say there's clubs in the lower end of the conference where I think we're just as good at the minute, and I think that's where we should be really aiming our sights.
That's future of the club. Uncertain last season. What do you think has changed around the club?
Everything. It's a whole new place. The vibe, the atmosphere, the mentality, the fans, the people that work here, the whole attitude of the place, the morale is just totally different. It's a different place. You could actually paint it a different colour and walk in and you would not think it was the same place. The whole mentality of the place is just totally different, and there's a positivity about it, and it's like a train. We're just starting to get moving and everyone's pushing in the right direction. We're all moving, and hopefully that momentum can take us, well, who knows how far it can take us.
Yeah, I mean, the attendances have grown quite a lot this season, really.
They're only going to get bigger. I can only see them getting bigger. They've grown. Our home form hasn't really been the best. I think it could be a lot better. Our away form's been excellent, and I think if we can start to get a good run at home as well as our away form, we could see a good run into the end of the season, and I could probably see us doubling what we're getting.
Fair enough. How far do you think the team can go this season? What do you think is, maybe that's the wrong question to ask, but you know.
I don't think this team knows how far they can go. That's my true belief as an elder, as a more experienced player. I don't think as a whole we quite believe how far we can go yet.
Okay.
And that is because I think we can go very far. And that's not me saying, oh, we don't believe. We do believe. But I think there's belief, and there's a level of belief that I think that this team is good.
Have you set yourself before the season started?
I've got some. I don't know if I want to tell you.
Fair enough.
Only because they're quite high, and they're quite very high. I've got 2 goals, and actually I'll tell you one of them. I thought to myself at the beginning of the season, I said, if we don't finish in the playoffs or go up, I might consider it as my last season. The missus texted me last week, says, this definitely ain't going to be your last season. So there's one of them. Okay, so that's one of them, and we're on course to doing it. So we'll keep going and we'll keep pushing in that right direction.
Cleveland Taylor, thank you very much.
Thank
It's been
you.
a pleasure.